Alrighty, guys, you know it's fall when we got the hoodie out. It's hoodie season, baby. Cheers, by the way. I appreciate you all for tuning in as we're about to break down SoFi, which is, well, down about 1%. And we're going to cover the markets, which right now, well, guys, we are down across the board, except for the Dow. The Dow is up about 0.1%, but all the other indexes are down. So we have a lot to cover. Hit the like button, subscribe, join the email stock newsletter. It's free. Check out the Patreon if you guys want to keep up with my portfolio updates. I actually just posted one yesterday. All those links are down below. And now let's dive into it. So it's about 11 a.m. on the East Coast right now. And like I said, guys, we are down across the board, except for the Dow, which is barely up. Let's keep it real, guys. Dow's up, 40 points, which is nothing. This could easily go red. So we are seeing some red. S&P's down 0.1. QQQ's down about 0.15%, and the Russell is leading the losses, down almost 1%, as the VIX, let me pull this up, is up over 2%. The VIX is actually close to 3% up. At one point, we almost hit 16 points. We were up almost 4% on the VIX. So we're seeing a spike in the volatility index, not nearly as much as what we saw a couple of days ago. About a week ago, we hit, I guess exactly a week ago, we hit over 19 on the VIX. Think about that. So we're nowhere near that, but we are seeing a bit of a spike here on Tuesday morning, guys, heading into the middle of the day, but it's nothing too worrisome if you really pull the layers back and look at the charts. Not that big of a deal yet, but the VIX is up, and again, the indexes, for the most part, are in the red right now, as SoFi stock is down 1%, 25 cents, 26 cents in the red, and we're still seeing resistance right here. You guys see it here on the 1 hour chart. Even though we have a golden cross, we're above both moving averages, we're still seeing resistance at this trend line that I just drew out on this 1 hour chart. And if I get the handy dandy channel tool out, you guys can see we're trying to break out, but we're just not there quite yet. We're not there quite yet. If I draw it out, you can see we're trying to break out, but we failed. Actually, this morning we tried breaking out and we failed. You can see right here. So SoFi, man, it's gonna take some time. Patience is key here. Clearly, we're in this channel making lower lows, very subtle lower lows and lower highs. And I've said this before, I'll say it again. I think when we break out of here, if we do, it's not guaranteed. It's not like it's 100% guaranteed, but if we break out of here, I think we're going all-time highs, which we're not too far away from at this point. You guys probably know we hit $28 back in February of 2021, so now we're pushing 5 years. So I think it's well on its way. We just have to be patient, even if it pulls down even more. And keep in mind, the reality is SoFi could come down more. Maybe it fills this gap down to the 180 SMA. Maybe it comes back down to the bottom of this channel here on the 4 hour chart. Even if that happens, guys, we're still in a great position for all-time highs, maybe even by the end of this year. In fact, I'm going to come out here and say it. I think we're going all-time highs by the end of this year, which, guys, it's only September 9th. We have a full October, full November, full December. We have some time on our hands here. Even if September is a bit rocky, which it has been, if it gets uglier throughout September, we still have 3 months to recover, baby. We have Q4 and SoFi, I think, is going to make that push to all-time highs, especially if we get this rate cut this month, which we're going to get. We're going to get it, let's be honest. Especially if we get another rate cut by the end of the year after this one, that's going to push this one to those all-time highs. That's my prediction by the end of the year. Who knows? I could be wrong, though. Make sure, of course, to do your own research. But right now, we're just finding our way. It could see some more downside in the short term. That's the reality. But once it figures itself out, it shakes itself out here over the coming weeks, I think we're going to make that push and continue the breakout overall. But, yeah, that's where we're at, guys, on SoFi stock. down over 1%. But one thing worth mentioning before we move on here, we are taking out the highs. Excuse me. We are taking out the highs from yesterday. Yesterday we hit about 26.10, and today we hit 26.18. It looks like right at open, right around open. Yeah, we hit 26.18. So we barely, but we did take the highs out from yesterday, which overall is good. So yeah, what do you guys think? I'm holding on, by the way. I'm not doing anything crazy with options right now, guys. I'm out of all my options plays regarding SoFi, but I'm just holding on to my shares. That's all I'm doing at this point, where the stock's up like, holy smokes, how much are we up? 220% from the lows back in April. I'm just holding on. I'm not buying, not selling, not doing anything with options. I'm just holding on tight as of right now when it comes to this one. So let me know your thoughts in the comments. That's mine. Those are mine. I think we're going to break out to all-time highs to wrap the year up. But we have some time. Things are going to shake out before then, obviously. But yeah, let me know your thoughts in the comments, guys. And now let's go over some stocks, some other stocks. Circle is moving again today. It seems like it's been doing this thing, CRCL, where it goes up 2 days in a row. Then it sees a big leg down, where it takes out all the gains from the last couple of days. So we've seen this time and time again. You can see here we saw a little run followed by a big dump off about a week ago. Then you can see here another dump off on Friday. Now we've seen a little upside today, up around 3%. Yesterday we saw a little bit of upside. So this is probably going to get, if history repeats itself, this is going to get met with more downside probably. We'll see though. CRCL overall is one that IPO'd. It got way hot. Now it's coming back to earth. This is usually, when it comes to IPOs, guys, on a side note here, I'm not saying for CRCL in particular, but when it comes to IPOs, usually this is a good time to enter after the initial hype dies down. It IPO'd at $65. It ran to $300. People were FOMOing. Oh my God, I gotta buy. I gotta get in. This is my only chance. People were getting in, and the reality is that was not the time to get in. That was a time to trade it, maybe get in and out, trade it, make some quick money, but not to really build a long-term position. But on the flip side, now things have died down. It's been about 2-3 months. It's fizzled out, no doubt. Volumes come down. People haven't forgotten about Circle stock by any means, but people, it's just not as it's not trading as actively. You know what I mean? Which is good. It's kind of finding, although it's downtrending, it's trying to find a new base. So this usually when IPOs die down after that initial hype, that's when you want to look deeper into them and consider them. You know what I mean? That's just my philosophy. I'm not a big fan of buying IPOs once they come out or once they break out on that initial hype. It's risky. Robinhood did a similar thing when it IPO'd years ago. Do you guys remember Robinhood? I'm sure you guys remember what happened. Well, it IPO'd. It shot up to like $80. Yeah, $85. It IPO'd at $35. Went all the way to $80. Then it collapsed all the way to $6. Traded there for a good little while. How many years? Holy moly. About a year, 2 years, it traded in the single digits. That was the time to buy when retail investors were in the gutter. And now look at it. The stock's over $110 a share. It is unbelievable. And this is one that I actually regret not buying. Not back then. Well, I guess looking back on it, yeah, I regret not buying it back then. But I was going to buy it back in April this year, a couple months ago during the crash. This stock got down to like 25 or 28. I was looking at it, I remember, in the mid-30s. So I was looking at it at like $33, $35. I didn't pull the trigger on it. Man, I wish I did, because I gave up, hundreds of percent gain. Now we're again over $100. But that's how the cookie crumbles, guys, in the market. We'll wrap it up there. That's how it goes. You can't win them all. There's going to be stocks where you watched it, you tracked it, you were going to buy it, you didn't buy it, and it goes up 5x. It happens. And there's also going to be stocks where you avoided them and they go down 90%. And you're like, oh, thank God I didn't buy that one, right? So, yeah, what do you guys think? Let me know in the comments. Run the likes up on this video. Make sure to subscribe, follow along for more content. Join the email stock newsletter, guys. It's free. And check out my Patreon if you want to keep up with my portfolio updates, see what stocks I'm buying. Every single week we post updates, and I just posted one yesterday. That is linked down below. And with that being said, cheers. I'll catch you in the next video.